good things to say.
I'd like to say hello to everyone. Welcome you to TKE Holistic Health and Solutions and Healthy Visions. I'm yours truly, Terry King Bay, a holistic practitioner and wellness coach. I also am an ordained minister in the state of Ohio. I also travel abroad, teach and do classes and seminars all over the state of Ohio and all throughout the United States of America. So I have studied and got involved into herbs in 1983, learning Shackley through my sister Janine King, and later on in life, my life became where I was involved in entertainment as a drummer, disc jockeying, and security, private investigation, bodyguard work, and concert after parties. And one day, my family, I come to notice that most of my family members have all been making transition through cancer, known as bad cells, in this naturopathic arena. So for me, somehow one day, my grandmother said my mother wasn't feeling well, throat was real scratchy a lot, and things of that nature. So I just happened to want to inquire, and a friend of mine, I'm going to give her credit, Linda Pope, introduced me to polarity therapy. And at that time, I also ran into a gentleman named John Butler, who did some iridology reading on me and never seen me. And those two things, those two individuals, plus from my sister, spearheaded my career to go further into alternative medicine. And in 2003, I was already studying. 2004, I just took it to another level. Went to school for polarity therapy, got my associate's degree as polarity therapy practitioner. And from there, I just kept on going, traveling, getting all the information. Detroit, Atlanta, Texas, Baltimore, and just going to Chicago, learning as much as I can learn, meeting with other practitioners, such as Dr. Wallace Young, Daoud Abdul-Rahman, hung out with Dr. Scott Whitaker, made a book called Medicine. I conversed with a gentleman named Dr. James Brown in Florida. Wanted me to come and talk with a lady, medical doctor named Dr. Jennifer Daniels, that wanted me to connect with her. She was an MD from Syracuse, New York, who now invited me to come and want to work with her in Panama a few years ago, as well as Scott Whitaker, come work with him in Alabama at a facility that he had as well. Not going on about some practitioners. One gentleman that I really was very fond of in dry blood cell analysis is Dr. Marcus Shumway. I also know a gentleman named Dr. Lawrence Sherman, a dynamic gentleman in the Akron, Ohio area. Great respect for him. Wish I was his son, get everything and learn what I can. And I'm still learning by the grace of the Creator. So however, saying these things that I've learned and learned steady from other people and meeting Dr. Eugene Watkins, on a Pure Limited, on liquid herbal extracts, a dynamic, phenomenal man, who at one point used to work with Nature Sunshine, instead of becoming an MD, and wind up going into the alternative field, looking at how medicine wasn't what it was supposed to do. And then looking at Dr. Matthias Raff, a medical doctor, and looking at his things and what he calls cellular nutrition and what he thinks should be. And he has some profound information on heart disease and says why animals don't get heart attacks. Why human beings don't get heart attacks like animals. And that issue is based on vitamin C production within the human body. It does not do that. And in animals, they produce their own vitamin C. So that's what happens in that arena. And so from there, it's a pause.
Okay.
Yes.
Good things to say.
I'd like to say hello to everyone. Welcome you to TKE Holistic Health and Solutions and Healthy Visions. I'm yours truly, Terry King Bay, a holistic practitioner and wellness coach. I also am an ordained minister in the state of Ohio. I also travel abroad, teach and do classes and seminars all over the state of Ohio and all throughout the United States of America. So I have studied and got involved into herbs in 1983, learning Shackley through my sister Janine King, and later on in life, my life became where I was involved in entertainment as a drummer, disc jockeying, and security, private investigation, bodyguard work, and concert after parties. And one day, my family, I come to notice that most of my family members have all been making transition through cancer, known as bad cells, in this naturopathic arena. So for me, somehow one day, my grandmother said my mother wasn't feeling well, throat was real scratchy a lot, things of that nature. So I just happened to want to inquire, and a friend of mine, I'm going to give her credit, Linda Pope, introduced me to polarity therapy. And at that time, I also ran into a gentleman named John Butler, who did some iridology reading on me, and never seen me. And those two things, for those two individuals, plus for my sister, spearheaded my career to go further into alternative medicine. And in 2003, I was already studying. 2004, I just took it to another level. Went to school for polarity therapy, got my associate's degree as polarity therapy practitioner. And from there, I just kept on going, traveling, getting all the information. Detroit, Atlanta, Texas, Baltimore, and just going to Chicago, learning as much as I can learn, meeting with other practitioners, such as Dr. Wallace Young, Daoud Abdul-Rahman, hung out with Dr. Scott Whitaker, made a book called Medicine. I conversed with a gentleman named Dr. James Brown in Florida. Wanted me to come and talk with a lady, medical doctor named Dr. Jennifer Daniels, that wanted me to connect with her. She was an MD from Syracuse, New York, who now invited me to come and want to work with her in Panama a few years ago, as well as Scott Whitaker, I come work with him in Alabama at a facility that he had as well. Not going and on about some practitioners. One gentleman that I really was very fond of in dry blood cell analysis is Dr. Marcus Shumway. I also know a gentleman named Dr. Lawrence Sherman, a dynamic gentleman in the Akron, Ohio area. Great respect for him. Wish I was his son, get everything and learn what I can. And I'm still learning by the grace of the Creator. So however, saying these things that I've learned and learned steady from other people and meeting Dr. Eugene Watkins, the owner of Pure Limited on liquid herbal extracts, a dynamic, phenomenal man who at one point used to work with Nature Sunshine, instead of becoming an MD, and wound up going into the alternative field, looking at how medicine wasn't what it was supposed to do. And then looking at Dr. Matthias Raff, a medical doctor, and looking at his things and what he calls cellular nutrition and what he thinks should be. And he has some profound information on heart disease and says why animals don't get heart attacks. Why human beings don't get heart attacks like animals. And that issue is based on vitamin C production within the human body. It does not do that. And in animals, they produce their own vitamin C. So that's what happens in that arena. Different places I've traveled, some classes I've taken. And let me let you know that I believe in alternative medicine. The best doctors in the world, to me, in my opinion, are your ER doctors. Simply because they are going to do their best, their students, they're fresh with the brain from what they're getting to know. They're the best doctors. Once you know what's wrong with you, it's best recommended that each person should start going to get a book and see and take control of your own health. Someone else has to manage you. You might as well, it's like you're in a band and they're getting their cut. The difference is they're getting all of this cut. And that movie that's called Forks Over Knives, you need to make a choice. Are you gonna watch what's on that fork? Are you gonna let that man step and go get that white coat and knife him, which means cut him? So there's three things that you look at: cut, burn, poison. There's 98 different chemos. How do you know which one is for you? There's 4 different types of blood types, but there's 16, in my opinion, because the 4 blood types beginning O, A, B, and AB all can be positives. Then comes your negatives. That's 8. Now, out of the 8 blood types, now you have what you call secretor and non-secretor. So I have a O positive, and it becomes a secretor and non-secretor, and I've got 2. So I got 16 blood types. So food on assimilation works different for every blood type. Certain ones should eat certain foods, but they don't practice that. They give one drug and say it's for everything. They did a fake story on a placebo pill. And some took a regular pill, some took a placebo. Those that took the placebo said they were better psychologically. Those that took the medicated pill said they were fine. But the key is, it's all in the mind. Trigger the body system to work and do what it needs to do. And education is what everybody needs in this medical field today. Don't get me wrong, allopathic is fine. There's some great things they're doing. But the key is, and the word is, how they're doing it and how far they're stretching it. And that to me is known as to be uncouthed, unpolished, things that are being done to thy people. Okay? People should have a voice. People don't take the voice, they have the voice. They're supposed to work for you. So now things have gotten so bad. Now we're ready to wake up. Is it too late? In my opinion, no. If you take care of you, it's not. It's too late? Yes, because you can't take care and do for everybody else. Because if something go wrong, you get the blame, and you will do what on the Monopoly game? Go straight to jail. Don't pass go. So, in saying that, allopathic medicine, as far as AMA, as you know, started up in 1903 from a gentleman that could not pass the biology and chemistry. Had a couple good buddies, golfing, fun, business guys, and they all got together, and that's what it comes down to fight. So there's movies out there called Cancer, The Forbidden Cures, A World Without Cancer, Grave Diet, Simply Wrong, Sicko, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, License to Kill, How to Get Fat Without Trying, Unseen Selection, Vegucated, and I can go on and on, and on and on. But every animal has a heartbeat just like I do, and you. Think about that next time you put that on that fork, or that spoon. So you put it in your mouth, but it's more so on the fork, because what? It's another life with a heartbeat. So for me, I stopped eating meat January 29th, 2007. So today, I do know that I believe in a good supplement company where I can talk with an owner, formulator, and if I can't do that, really, that's why they haven't had good years there. They can tell me the story. I'm not going to deal with that company. I get a lot of people call me all the time. Get in there, do it work. Get in there, get in there. Get in this, get in there. Me, I stopped. I used to, but I was fresh, and I was fresh trying to get it learning. I was like a kid in the candy store. I was like a junkie with a fix. I was at it. I was crazy. Cook with Cocoa Puffs without the milk. And just had to eat the cereal, but with no milk. That's how crazy I was. But you learn to mature over time. And in that process, your people will learn that and see that growth in you. And the belief gets even stronger. Your consciousness makes you be more powerful. People will tell you that I have what they call healing hands. My hands can fire if they get so hot. I put them on people, and I change and move the flow, and have taken pain, the information, and moved it. How? I don't know. Who say I moved it? Quote unquote. All I know is they tell me they better. You know, I do Reiki, Qigong, polarity, Vitaflex, the reflexology. I took all that together and created a thing I call Pol-Ray Chi X. So I never know what I'm going to do for a person. I counsel the person. So it's never an exact per se, because it isn't. One thing about the witch doctor that they claim to say is a bad doctor, when the word pharmacy comes from the word pharmaco, and in the dictionary it says poison. So who's boo-boo the fool? Who's crazy? Who's uncouth, unpolished here? We all have our own mind to wake up. And this I say, if you have a doctor, and your doctor can take you to the point where the medicine is not doing its job, and they're willing to say to you, honestly, there's nothing else I can do. Your condition's not getting any better. We've tried 2 or 3 different added medications. Things are going down and not up. That's a great doctor. That's the kind of doctor that I want. Okay? Again, you have good and bad doctors. I don't need no doctor that's into that field. He has to have a Jaguar, Rolls Royce, all those things. A house here and a house there. I mean, come on. That's not God's word. I'm on the path to do what's done for fallen humanity and uplifting. That's God's work, the great creator. So for me, meeting people of all faiths, nationalities, I'm a universal man. That's to be your wellness man. And I help you put together a plan, help get you together. If you really want to grow, if you want to learn, if you want to be better, if you want to let your body heal itself, there's the power for the mind, body, and spirit to be free, to come together mentally and get that spirit balanced and right for its own healingness when it's balanced. So I say that to say, yes, you see a bunch of things here behind me. Yes, this is my company, TKE Holistic Health and Solutions. all for healthier you. I also have a nonprofit side called Healthy Visions to help educate people. I've been doing that 6.5 years. Be 7 years come June. In Shaker Heights, Ohio, of Cleveland area, suburb area. So here we have, and knowing that the greatest of medicines came out of Kemet, which is known today as Egypt. When the Europeans came over and took it and changed the name. That's fine. You can't change what's in nature, what's already planted there long ago. Africa, named after a Roman Catholic general named Supercontinent Africus. I may not quote the name right, that's close enough to figure it out. And it became Africa. It was called a Kibon. So everything that man needed on these two continents was in the nature of the soil. So in your book, Genesis 1:29, it says, I give you every herb-bearing seed, and to you that shall be used as your food for fruit. If you understand your Revelations 22:2, it says to you that there are 12 trees that help heal nations. So it's in the plant, the tree, the bark, whatever. But if you learn, you can be better. And I'm here to help educate and teach you what I know, because I don't own this. I don't own this. No one's paid this. There's no federal funding for this. I do this from my God-given heart. Today is April the 14th, if I'm correct. And I'm saying this statement. My grandmother will be 90 years old, May the 6th. She makes it more so by doing one particular thing that she's been doing since she's been 60. And everybody out there needs to hear this. Get a stainless steel pot pan with a good copper bottle and do what? Boil your water. If you don't do that, get you some steam distilled water. Quoted Best Water by Dr. John R. Christopher. If you don't do that, just get distilled water. Doctors say you don't drink distilled water. This plain has nothing in it. Guess what it does? Push out the impurities. If it's not natural spring water coming from a spring, it can help set up toxins in the body from your medicated drugs. If your body's not pushing it out, once it has assimilated what it needs for that body to be healed with that particular medication. So again, it's about education. If I don't have the answer, I'll get you the answer. If I don't have what you need, we together can find what is needed to get you together. That I say. I'm also doing cold laser therapy. This is a cold laser. It beeps. This is at 12 megahertz. It's right on the body to do whatever, to take care of whatever. Cysts, tumors, swellings. And over time, it moves that blood. Just get that information. Loosens it up. That's the pulsating rate. You put it direct. This is at 12 megahertz. If I change this frequency to a different one, this frequency will go, and I'm going to show you the difference in that pulsating rate. We're going to take this frequency to I know you're the beeping. This frequency right now is set at 150 megahertz. And at this rate, that's straight dead on. And at this rate right here, you cannot hold this close for a long period of time. You can burn yourself. So you have to know what you're doing when you're buying anything that you see on the internet, anything that you're interested in. This right here is 2 feet to 3 feet away, and you scan the whole body to help do its job. Further information on that when you call for the services. This right here is all I'm going to say. Head issues, 3 minutes, side, back, top, side. Altogether, that's 16 minutes, 4 points. If you do the 5, the front, that's another 3 minutes. How many is that? That's your time. That's 19 minutes and 3-minute intervals. This normally, when you're doing this and you have a person working on their head, you're scanning their whole body, I use these here lights. These here shades. And you do the scanning this way. The whole front of the body, come around to the back of the body. If there's straight shoulder pain, I just allocate it to that area for that whole 3-minute session. And then I may stop, do another 3 minutes, and still do the whole body. Come back, do another 3 minutes at that particular location. Then do another scan. And I may do some manipulation of acupressure on that person. Also, I do iridology. We can take this iridology camera, put it over the eye, and read the iris in the eye. to get an analysis. In the iridology, here's a chart that tells you the different locations. And on this chart, it has that at the 5:20 time till 5:20, is that? Yes, 5:20 to 6:55. That will show me if there's a mark in a person's iris in the eye. That would indicate to me that there's some stress in that kidney zone. So the iridology can help tell you where the stress of the body is. And can that happen? Some family members. Open up the lungs, wake me up when I'm driving on the road to classes and lectures. Helichrysum, cranial margin, a few other things that are natural to help assist. I have here an oil that I have, 5 oils, an Indian oil, Chinese oil, and essential oils, and massage oil, all blended to help eliminate and ease stress in the circulation areas of any type of inflammation and joint pain to help assist that person maybe taking some aspirins or some other form of pharmaceutical drug to help. And this can help assist while that medication does what it does through the blood flow from just rubbing it for 5 minutes on that area. Then I have over here the muscadine. I got muscadine grape. 100% antioxidant. Okay, muscadine grape. This is not liquor. This is grape juice. 100% muscadine. Grown in America. And I have the muscadine grape seed extract. Grape seeds. Also, 100%. Right here.
Now, muscadine's different than regular grape juice?
Oh, yes, most definitely. Most powerful antioxidant, you can look this up, it has helped assist people with bad cells. A Cancer Research Institute did it on how to assist that with antioxidant levels and with protandum, free radical damage. And then you get the extract that you need to assist whatever's going on in the body. So this is pretty much mostly what I use. I have Dr. Matthias Graff, and I have new body products, which I don't have here on the counter, using the CKLS, colon, kidney, liver, spleen assistance. So this is pretty much what I have here. And then I'll use some other techniques, as I mentioned. Dr. Loomis, I took their class with Dr. Loomis. And we're dealing with things such as knowing the stress points within the body that I can go to a person and look at some points that may be happening, possible dealing with a lymphatic congestion, enlarged lymph nodes, localized swelling and edema, congestion in soft tissue, low resistance and immune function. Just by me knowing and doing some things, just by me doing a form of acupressure to these 2 points on a person's body. You know, just by doing these 2 points. You can cut it, right?
Oh yeah, I can see it better now.
So I can go on and on about various things using acupressure and various techniques that can be done. Just my little quick pocket guide. Be like quick draw my draw with what I need to do for people. And of course I do acupuncture with needles in the ears. I have brochures. I do dry blood cell analysis. Of course we know we have the chair massage, that I do chair massage. I don't have my massage table set up to show it, but my massage table is just like this, same type of material, foam memory, foam, real soft, very soft leather, 2-tone, for a person to be comfortable when they come to get my massage. And of course, we talk about parasites. This is number 1 culprit. This is what's inside of most people. These are the most common parasites. Information that I received from Dr. James Overman. May he rest in peace. Great parasitologist. Then we can go over here and talk about the different certifications that I have. But before I go there, when people take my herbology class, this is the certificate they receive from me when they take my class. and it's called Healthy Visions. It's my nonprofit, in which what we do at the library there. And here's a few of my certificates and various things that I've taken.